said she liked the pain the sauce gave her.
Yeah, okay.
What
Can
the
I-
fuck is wrong with people?
Okay, I'm gonna add a part to the story of this girl that I found at the mall and I dated for a year. Her fetish, guys, just so you know, her fetish was I can't say it on here. It starts with an R.
I know what
Yep.
that's all you got to say. Stop. I know
Yep.
exactly what you're talking
And she wanted me to pretend that happened, and I was the person.
Never.
And I said, no, thank you.
It's only a fetish if because they're picturing the guy that's doing that that's breaking in as extremely attractive, and it's not going to be that guy.
No.
It's going to be Wings of Redemption's ass coming through your window.
He's not coming through the window. He's like Kool-Aid guy. He's coming through the wall.
Nipples first. You'll see like his breasts come through first. He's like,
Oh my God. Do you know who Justin Silverman is, Rich?
yeah, he has giant breasts as well.
So one time I'm in a panel about like trolling online, and fucking Justin Silverman comes into the room, and I scream into the microphone, "Oh yeah!" And everyone looks at the back of the room. I'm like, "Ladies and gentlemen, the Kool-Aid Man," and it's just Justin Silverman standing at the back of the room.
He must have hated you for that.
Oh no, he loved it. He came up to me and he was like, "That was pretty good, man. That was pretty good."
Okay, I could see that too.
That's
I could
kind of
see-
what happened first time I ever met Boogie. I was doing a panel, and Boogie just walked in, and he was just double fisting pizza, man. He was killing that shit. And he just walked in, and like I was just doing my panel, I just see him walk in, just like in the very back of the room. Here comes Boogie. That's all I ever picture now. Is just him double fisting pizza.
Silverman, Justin Silverman. Somebody said he's cool. Yeah, he's cool. I'll admit now, like in the beginning, I hated him. I hated him so much. He's got the thing about him is like because of how he is as a person, his comedy, it's very hard to understand if
Yeah.
he's joking or not. So he does it on purpose because I think he was bullied or something when he was young. I don't know what it is, but in the beginning, I wanted to murder him. I hated his guts. Merry
his
Christmas.
humor is like, yeah, him and I basically like say like, hey, you're a piece of shit. How you doing? Hey, Rich, go fuck yourself.
Can you
like,
image
that's,
Wings of Redemption busting into your room at night, yelling, "Look here, look, listen"?
Yes.
Look here, listen.
I actually masturbate. I actually masturbate to that thought every day.
Look here! Look, listen!
Like nipples first. Like his breasts come through my drywall first. Then he just smacks the shit at me with them.
Okay, here.
Man,
Question,
I gotta stop. I'm stopping right now.
Question for the panel right now. Craziest sexual experience. Do we have anything off the top?
I got one right now.
Of
So,
course you do. You smash someone's pisser.
I've
And
had,
it-
dude.
it
Now
exploded.
I'm gonna be honest. I could give you a dozen, but I'll just tell you how I lost my virginity because it's about that's a perfect one.
Okay.
I met this girl on MySpace because I was
Oh, God
I was
damn.
16.
So this is 1992.
Yeah, and I was. I just, dude, I was one of the, dude, I was just adding random girls that looked attractive because, you know, I was.
Dude, I did that too.
Yeah,
I
dude.
did that too. Who
And you know
didn't
what's
do
funny?
that?
I did that on when Facebook started, and I ended up dating a girl I did that to for like a good 6 months.
Yep,
No, you
that's
just
how
random-
I met my. That's how I
Dude.
met my ex-wife, actually.
Holy shit! You can't do that
Really?
anymore. You can't
No,
do it
you
on
can't.
Facebook anymore. Because I used to just find girls. I sound like a creep, but I find girls close to where I live, and I just randomly message them and go, "Hey, Jessica told me to message you." She'd be like, "Who?" And I just start talking to them.
Here's a picture of my dick, and that's all you gotta do. No, so no, so I meet
No,
this girl,
don't do that.
I meet this girl on MySpace, and like she's 16 and I'm 16, and I like message her back and forth, you know, in between my WoW raids and shit. And I'm like a fat little kid too, by the way. And I message her and whatnot, and we talk back and forth. And then one day, I give her my phone number, obviously, because you know phone numbers. And back when people were talking on the phone. And so she calls me up one day. I'm just driving around Walmart. You know how I don't know if you guys did it, but you know I lived in a place called Gadsden, Alabama. You basically for entertainment you went to Walmart at 3 a.m. So she calls me one day on my goofy little Nokia snake phone, and she's like, "Hey, you should come to my house." And I was like, "Oh my God, that is such a great idea." Now, keep in mind she lived like an hour away in like Georgia, on the line. So I drive my happy ass there. And I'd park behind this random ass trailer on this random ass rural road. Keep in mind, it was like Banjo and shit. So I get out of my car and she tells me to walk down the road. You know, and at this point in time in my life, I would do anything. So
At that age,
yeah.
you put
Yeah,
in a lot
dude.
more work.
so I'm walking
Dude,
down the road.
did you have any like fear that you're being led to like some 60-year-old man's house?
No, dude, not at all. I would have never even thought of that. I was like, bruh, I'm about to meet a girl. So I'm walking down the road, and then she's walking down the road at the opposite direction, and then we just like meet in the middle of this road, and I, actually met her. And of course, at the time, now looking back, if I was able to find her pictures, she was probably very average, but at the time, she was the hottest girl I've ever met in my life. And so she's like, let's go back to my house, and I'm like, all right, sounds great to me. So I walk back to her house. Now, keep in mind, I'm not quite sure at this point why I parked behind a random trailer a mile down the road, but it's fine. So I get up to her house, and then she climbs in her bedroom window, and I climb in after her. It's fine.
Oh,
And turns out, by the way, I was let know. She let me know later that if her father had caught me in the house, he would have shot me. But it's fine. So I'm sitting there, and she turns on a movie, and she's like kissing all over my neck and shit, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe this. This is crazy, man. So she's kissing on my neck and shit. She turns on Labyrinth, which is a great movie, David Bowie's crotch. And all of a sudden, now I don't know if you guys have
Dance,
ever
baby,
experienced. I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but all of a sudden I started getting bubble guts. I guess because I was nervous. And
Yeah.
for the first time ever, I got to breaking out in sweat shit where I could not hold it. So I planted my ass firmly
I know
on the
those.
floor. Dude, I was like sitting square on the floor, and my ass was perfectly lined up to the floor. And I was having contractions and shit. Every like couple minutes, I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then it would go away. And from my previous experience, it would just go away eventually. It got worse and worse until it got to the breaking point. So I tell this girl, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta leave. Well, first I asked her if I could use her bathroom, and she's like, dude, my dad's sitting right out there, he'll kill you. And I was like, what? So that was, very nervous and stressful. So I was like, well, I have to leave, dude. And she's like, oh, okay. And I just literally go to the window and fall out of the window and start running, just sprinting, just to get out, right? And I get to the end of her driveway, and it's over. And I just rip my pants down and start projectile shitting everywhere. And I'm not, dude, it was like, it was explosive. And I remember being out of breath and sweaty after shitting. And I was like, well, shit, so I had to take my socks off and wipe, obviously. And I was like, well, this is over. I ruined this. So I walked back to my car, and I drive to Walmart and shit again because it's just crazy. I get some wet wipes and whatnot. And this girl was like, you should come back. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, the only light from her house was shining from her window on my ass as I was shitting. But apparently she was as desperate as I was. She tells me to come back, so I come back for some weird ass reason. And
Because you're horny.
Yeah, and I sit
But
on
what
her-
about your ass? Isn't it covered in like?
Why? We use wet wipes, man.
Oh,
And it uses
Save the
socks,
day.
too.
Yeah, I used my
Jesus.
socks and wet wipes, and then I bought new socks at Walmart. So I came back and I laid on her bed, and she just keep in mind I had zero experience because I was a fat kid growing up. So I was basically, oh, you're like a brother to me. Girls never liked me. I was basically a kissless virgin at that point. And she just takes my drawers down and just sits on my junk and just goes ham on me, and that's all I fucking do. Even after I shit in her driveway, and she saw me.
Maybe that was probably a turn on to her. She's like, man, that's some explosive shit coming out of
Dude,
his
I
ass."
can't even. I wish I could I kind of wish I could relive it because it was easily the most satisfying shit of my life.
Man, I was going to say a story, but it can't beat that.
yeah.
But,
Thanks for that.
Yeah,
now we got nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say
I watched the girl squirt like 40 times. The end.
I got in a grocery store parking lot. This like 55-year-old Hispanic woman with amazing tits gave me the best blowjob in my life.
Where? In the parking lot?
Yeah, in the parking lot. She
How
just
did that,
she pulled the
daytime
seat-
or night?
night. She pulled down in my pants, and she just went to town.
Was this a hooker?
No, it was someone I met. It was like someone I met in a dating app. Yeah, she was
One
was
for
older.
me and one for my hooker.
Wait a minute. Has that happened a lot to you guys? Like you go on a dating app, and you go on a date, and then all of a sudden the girl's just like, I'm gonna suck your dick.
Oh, dude! Oh my god!
All the time.
Yeah,
All the time.
Okay, keep in mind. I'll give you like a kind of context. So in 2017, 2018, and a little bit of 2019, I was on Tinder and Bumble. And when I deleted
Fucking-
Tinder, I had like 900
fucking
matches.
Bumble.
And I hooked up with, I would have a girl over every other day, every other 3 days and stuff because I was working still, full time at, GameStop or moved to Walmart. And I was hanging out with these girls, and I would literally, dude, I never made a move. It was how it worked for me. I would sit there and I'd be like, what's up, girl? And I'd hug them, and we'd go upstairs in my game room. I'd sit on the couch, I'd turn on like Interstellar or whatever movie I'd always turn on, and I would start drinking shots of tequila because that's what I always did. And I shit you not, 98% of the time, the girl would start kissing on my neck and then just start sucking my dick. I never made a move. And this one time, I didn't make a move for 4 hangouts with this girl. And I didn't care because I was hooking up with girls every day, so I didn't care if we didn't have sex. So, but the 4th time we hung out, and she was like a bodybuilder chick, but like without the steroids, she looked awesome. And she leaves my house, and she texts me, and she's like, "Are we not gonna have sex?" And I was like, "You're married. You told me that we were just gonna be friends." And she's like, "Well, we can have sex." And I was like, "Okay."
Friends,
and then she just,
friends that fuck.
yeah, and she just came back, and I just smashed her, pissed her, and it was awesome. God, that girl, she was crazy because, you know, when you lift a lot, you have an increased testosterone as a woman, and that shit was dripping. It's like a faucet. God,
Man,
I'm thinking about it right now.
You need to do audiobooks on your sexual experience, man. I think you're missing your calling.
It was so good.
You'll have people driving in their car listening to like Amazon audiobooks of Camelot talking about himself fucking.
Dude, I have like 20 Tinder Stories videos, and they've always performed pretty well.
Oh yeah, because people love to hear about that.
Yeah, but then they're like, "Hey, give us some more Tinder Stories," and I'm like, "Bruh, I can only give you so many."
Yeah, I get that too.
I started running out. I got to the ones that are like weird, like the girl that passed out that one time. Like one girl had a seizure one time.
Wow, wait, what?
Dude, when you go around the block enough, you see everything. Now,
while you were doing it with her, she had a seizure.
Yeah, I was hanging out with this girl.
My God.
She was like 80 pounds, 4'11", tiny little girl, just adorable little girl. But she knew how to wrangle. She knew how to wrangle the dick. So she, we hang out, and she smashed my pisser. It's a great ass time. So she comes over one time, and she's like, I've been smoking stuff. And we go to my room, obviously, because she's always like, let's go hang out in your room. I'm like, because you know how it is. So I'm just doggy styling this chick, just hitting it as hard as I can. And all of a sudden, like, she's she has the resistance, she's pushing back on me. She just falls and goes limp, and I just jump off of her, and I'm like, oh my God, and I start like waving,
holy shit,
my hand in front of her face to wake her up, and she like wakes up, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just really dehydrated, and I'm like, what? And she's like, you can keep going, and I'm like, no,
no, you need to go to the hospital. Like, no, you don't.
But it was pretty wild. She just like drank some water and like ate something, and then she just like laid and cuddled me, and I just let her go to sleep. I was like, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. We'll end the stream with this story, and I'm going to switch over to YouTube. This is a story that some of you may have heard, but some of you did. I remember I was in college, and there was this other, for some reason, goth chicks always wanted to sit on my face. But luckily, she wasn't able to. And we did theater class together. And we went out to dinner.
Dramatically sit on my face. Okay, keep going.
Listen, I'm going to fart in your face. So we go back to my place, and she takes off her shirt, and nice, wonderful face. And she's like... And
two or three nipples.
She had 12 nipples, actually.
Okay, good.
And they were all lactating. No, and then... So, whatever, we were making out or whatever, and then she was like, all right. So she starts taking off her pants. She doesn't let you know I have my period. I'm like, what? Like, I just met you. She's like, and I don't have condoms. She's like, that's fine. I'm like,
hell yeah.
No, I like to not have AIDS. Thank you.
Dude, I raw dog like over probably 1,000 times in 10.
Well, dude, you're a braver man than me. I'm like, nah, like, you have like. It's a double whammy. Like, it's not like, oh, it's just normal. Like, you have your period and you want me to raw dog you? Not a chance in hell. Well, you should have told 20-year-old me this.
Everybody
Probably
in the chat, just do it. Don't listen to Rich.
No, do not listen to this man.
Great advice. Great advice, guys. Definitely use a condom.
It's still. Then she just like she put on her clothes with her nerves, and she like stomped up the steps, and it was like some melodramatic shit. She opened the door. And then look back like a 60s movie, and she just looks and she sounds like fucking possessed. She goes, "Now I have to go home and masturbate," and just slams the door and walks off. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, even if she didn't have her period, I probably just literally and metaphorically dodged a bullet.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, she like went fucking demon on me. She was enraged that I would not go in her bloody hole.
Oh my God. Dude, you know what? Like, I'm gonna be honest, dude. I don't give a fuck. Now, dude, back in the day, dude, I didn't care. They'd be like, "Hey, I'm married." I'd be like, "That's great." They'd be like, "Hey, I have a boyfriend," but that's great. I don't care. They'd be like, "Hey, I'm on a period." I'm like, "That's great." They'd be like, "Hey, I'm not on birth control."
I mean, if I'm
Is there
in, like,
anything that you would stop at? Like, what if they were like, "Hey, I killed 5 guys before coming"?
I mean, as long as they're not gonna kill me, dude, I can hold them bitches down. I don't give a fuck.
Oh wait, but do you have big boobs? Oh, you murdered him? But do you have big boobs?
Damn. No, that's how.
Hey,
That's,
I got a question. Like, how many women were on the dating stuff that were like, "Hey, I'm married and I'm stepping outside of that"?
well, I couldn't really give you a good percentage of how many that were married, but I can give you a good percentage of how many that were in a relationship, and it was probably about 70%.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
dude, that happened to me on Tinder too. God, nothing ever happened. Like, she sent me a whole bunch of titty pictures, unsolicited. And she was married, and she wanted to just, I'm like, oh, God, you have great breasts. She was actually pretty hot, too, but I don't want my dick shot off. But then, I don't know what happened. She's like, yeah, me and my husband are getting back together, so
Yep.
no hole for you.
Yeah, but that was bullshit the whole time. I bet she
Yeah.
was never had an issue with.
No,
her
I
husband.
know. She did. Or she was just looking to either cheat or maybe they had a fight and it was like, oh yeah, look what I'm gonna do, kind of shit. Yeah, I know.
The Tinder
Well,
girls
dude,
I
no,
hung out with,
it's-
they're like they weren't having fights for it. They would just come over while their husband was at work. And it was probably about 10 girls that were married, and then, oh god, 30 or 40 that were in relationships.
That's crazy.
And look, I was a bad person. I was really jaded. My wife had left me, and I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care about nothing, dude.
Yeah, why? Dude, you know what though? You know why I don't hold you accountable for that? Because it's not like, they wanted it. They had the hole. They wanted your dick in there. So hey,
Man,
See?
this one girl was so easily the most attractive girl probably on earth, in my opinion. And she was married, and she just hit me up, and we started hanging out. Of course, smashed a pisser. Of course. And she's married, so eventually she's like, bro, I'm not on birth control, and I'm like, that's fine. And then she's also like, bro, just fill me up like a oatmeal cream pie. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh,
And then her and her husband have another child, and him and her haven't had sex in like 6 months. So
you're just basically you're admitting that you have a child out there.
oh, everybody knows this, yeah.
wait.
Well,
Great
Merry
time.
Christmas,
Merry
guys.
Christmas. What? Hold on.
That happened to me in university. My friends with benefits wanted to fuck while on her period once. Turns out she was a childhood friend's cousin. She had big boobs.
She had big boobs. I mean, look, if I'm in like a long-term relationship,
Thank you, Town Lord, by the way.
I'll go into a red hole. You know what I'm saying? But like, not on a first. Like, yeah, like if it's like my long-term significant other, man, who cares?
So that's
But-
one way to end the stream.
Yeah, it's a great family-friendly way to end the stream.
He's just like, I have a child out there. Let's go to bed.
Yeah,
That's a fucking cliffhanger. All right,
he's
Cody.
5 years old.
So wait a minute. You're being dead serious here?
Are you being dead serious right now? I thought I still was
Yeah.
on the. Do you?
So wait a minute. You have a child with the woman for sure.
Yes, I had to take a paternity test, and it was 99.8%.
And what happened to the husband? He was just like, this is fine.
He's just like, okay, I don't know if he thinks it's her. I don't know, man. He's like a Indian guy, and the child is a girl, and she is extremely pale and has blonde, like bleach blonde hair, like I did when I was a child. And the mom also has like black hair and brown eyes.
Oh God, that must have been. There was probably our eyebrows raised in the delivery room, man.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That being said,
Yes, yeah, Alfina. Yes, better stories than modern life, David. I'm sorry. Continue.
funny thing is, I was actually going to mention this. Several of the husbands and boyfriends would message me in
What?
like message requests on Facebook, and they were always really super cordial and they'd be like, "Hey, I appreciate you being there for like so and so, but can you stop hanging out with her?" None of them were ever mad, and that's probably why they were getting cheated on. I'm gonna be honest.
Somebody in the chat said you are the father.
Jesus, that's some Jerry Springer. So, like, do you correspond with the child? Do you have any kind of...
No, I get pictures every once in a while from